Hey everybody, welcome on in. Hi, welcome to the stream. It's Thursday evening, and so I have crawled out onto the internet once again to do some arts. This is Wagworks GA. That's the channel. I'm Jeff. You can call me Wags. I'm actually one half of the Wagworks GA creative duo. Frankie's dead. What? What's going on? Is he okay? Like really okay? But yes, I'm one half of the creative duo. My wife Ashley is the other half. That's the G and the A. He worked all day. Oh man. Wait, the job was new, right? Where's he working now? I mean, I'm happy for him that he found something. That's awesome. I'm glad he's resting. Oh, helping his uncle? And okay, well, that's too bad. Not with like the mail thing, right? Because I know he was not the biggest fan of the mail delivery gig. Oh, hey, probably want to plug in my computer or something. Good times, good times. He was doing the mail. Oh man, I know that's not his favorite, or at least he didn't take a lot of joy in it the last bout with it, if I recall correctly. I hope it's better this time. Oh my gosh. Is it just the 3 days or is it more? Oh, he hated today. Oh no. Well, please let him know. Thinking of him. Hope it goes smoother. Just the 3 for now. Okay. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, yeah. Well, how are you doing tonight? Why does everything seem super quiet right now? Interesting. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. Okay, so maybe he'll be swinging by. Just in case he needs his rest, you know, tell him I said hey. Do you have to open tomorrow? But no bed. Oh no, why no bed? Hey, congratulations. Do you guys have limited hours on Labor Day? Oh, that's fun. I have not been to the Minnesota State Fair. I've been to the Central Wisconsin State Fair. Minnesota State Fair is probably much larger. Although we do have the world's largest round barn in my hometown. That's our thing. Do you have a favorite, like number 1 in the country? See, I did not know about that. That's awesome. Hop over and open up something real quick. What's he doing? There we go. That's pretty incredible. So you've been there during its reign at the top, as the top fair in the country. I wish I remembered. It's actually been a really long time since I've been to a fair. Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, I think the last time I went to one was basically as a kid. Well, we had to have gone to something with the kids. Fair-like things, but not like a full-on fair. Do you have a favorite ride or favorite activity to do at the fair? Oh, nice. Eau Claire is beautiful. I love it over there. Food. Yeah. I agree. I agree with that. I feel like that's a highlight for me as well. Excuse me. Yeah, I only went a few times for probably, do we have any like cross country thing there? Only a handful of times, but it was really nice. Ferguson's I'm not familiar with. Oh, now that's cool. And it's perfect weather, right? Like, the whole, like, eastern chunk of the country is experiencing this kind of, like, prolonged early fall right now, which is super nice. I'm trying to think if we have any pick your own places here. Obviously the apple picking here is not as good. There was a place we went to when we lived in Maryland that we absolutely loved. It was great. They had the pick your own stuff, but not just apples. Like, they had like a whole fall festival with barbecue Sundays. It was incredible. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's just a couple hours. It's a reasonable drive for that kind of thing. Ironically, I never went apple picking in Wisconsin while we were there. Don't even know if they do it. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they have to, right? Me too. It's just that perfect feeling of getting out like on a nice fall day and picking, and yeah. Oh my gosh, the apple donuts, yes. Although I ended up loving, again, the place that we went to is it's called Laryland Farms in Maryland, and at their fall festival they had the apple donuts, but they also had barbecue sundaes. So it was like coleslaw topped with, no wait, is there I think there was mac and cheese involved as well, and then like barbecue on the top, and then like a fried pickle on the very top of it. You can't wait to come home tomorrow and be dead to the world. Yeah, I will say fair exhaustion is real, for sure. But it's a good exhaustion, right? I'd rather have that, if you ask me. Let's see, what I might do, I might roll into warm up here in a second. I'm trying to think. I don't have any crazy announcements going on right now. Oh, I could share. Is it ready? Sorry, I'm having like all these random thoughts in the back of my head, and I did not check any of them out to have them prepared, as does happen at times. Okay. Yeah. So I do have something cool to share at least. Waking up at 6 a.m. to head to the park and ride by 7. Ooh, that is a full day. That's like a Disney Parks day. Like getting up that early to be there basically at rope drop. That's what that is. That's impressive. I haven't done a day like that since we moved to Disney, basically. But yeah, it's gonna be a full day. But it sounds good, right? For announcements, we do have, actually, we're now sharing our fall preview of our summer preview issue of CoreToons ahead of the release of the fall issue, which will be coming out probably mid-September, I think is what we're doing. We're almost there with it. We're just about ready. The fair gets almost 150,000 people daily. That's incredible. That's what, almost 8 times my hometown's population in a single day. It's crazy. Sounds good. Have fun. Happy lurk. And yeah, again, if Frank doesn't come by, say hey to him for me. But thanks for stopping by. Good chatting with you. And enjoy the fair. Have a great time. But what I was going to do is drop this link. So CoreToons actually does have a website. We're building it, and it hadn't been quite ready to share yet. But I think we're finally there, and especially because it's hosting our preview issue of the new format, the summer preview, I'm going to go ahead and share the link here in chat. It's hosted over at our friend Sarah's publishing site, which is a group called Birch Books. So it's www.lovereading.co/CoreToons. And that is where you'll find actually all of our comics organized there, kind of in a blog format. So you can get, if you like an individual series in CoreToons, ours or any of our friends, you can find it there and just kind of binge on all that. You can also see the new format in the summer preview. So a lot of those comics you've probably already seen, but that'll be the format for the fall issue, which is all brand new. And the comics from the fall issue will be making it to the website eventually, and some of them will go out via Substack as well. But the main place for them will be in the digital magazine. But anyway, yeah, we're happy to share it now that we're winding down summer. We figured we might as well get the summer preview out while it's still summer technically, and share that with folks. And yeah, then the fall issue hits and we start cranking out the new stuff starting mid-September. It's exciting. We're finally ready to start showing people what we've been working on for the better part of this year, putting stuff together. So that's my big news. That's the biggest thing we got going on right now. Otherwise, just life. Life's just life, and yeah, that's how it goes. I will go ahead, I think, and hop into warm-up at this point. So there's that, and on top of that, I will bring up ye old random Pokemon generator. In just a moment, excuse me. There we go. There we are. So if you're not familiar, here's the deal. I'm gonna do a 5-minute warm-up. I actually have a command for this, thanks to Frank. So I'm gonna do a 5-minute warm-up. Really, all that entails is we're gonna spend, this brief amount of time just kind of loosening up. I work a day job. I haven't been drawing all day, so it's a good chance for me to loosen up my arm and get my brain thinking more in the art mode. Instead of kind of jumping into my main thing I want to work on cold. So I'm doing a warm-up, and I welcome and encourage you to do one with me. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be the Pokemon. It's just kind of fun and therapeutic to draw. At least I think so. So you're welcome to join. I'm bringing up my timer right now, and in just a second I will pick out my random Pokemon. I was using the Pokemon cards to do it, but I was starting to run out of unique ones in our house supply. So I've since moved to the random Pokemon generator website, which is just randompokemon.com. I do 3 basic Pokemon from there that are generated, and I pick one of them to draw, and that's where we go. All right, so let's do that part. All right, so for tonight, we've got Murkrow, Fungus, and Pumpkaboo. These are some excellent Halloween-y style ones, right? I mentioned last week, now that we're getting into spooky season, you're actually hearing the fireworks from the Disney World Halloween show going on in the background, or you may be hearing them. There's kind of a faint thumping going on. The mic may not be picking it up, but you're hearing that, so if Disney says it's spooky season, I'm going to say it's spooky season. And so that's the main piece we'll be working on tonight as well. So let's go ahead. I like Murkrow. Let's go Murkrow. Have I done Murkrow before? Maybe. All right. So I'm going to pick Murkrow for my Pokemon. We'll go ahead and clear out the window. If you're doing a Pokemon, I hope you have made your selection. And as it does say in the warm-up command, if you are drawing along, feel free to join in and tag us on Instagram. We are WagWorksGA over there. All right, timer's just about ready. I'm going to pull up my reference before I start. Usually a good idea. Just drop it right on in here. There we go. Gonna go ahead and also add the name. Oh, interesting. This is what happens when you share a Clip Studio settings with another computer that your family uses. That a kiddo uses. Okay, there we go. Okay, well, I think we've got everything. So 5-minute timer starts now. All right, so I'm gonna do my usual thing. I prefer to do my sketch layer in anything but black. So just gonna grab a different color here. Blue seems pretty nice usually. And kind of as an old habit from sketching in blue pencil when I was gonna scan stuff in. All right, did not label layers. I'll do that now real quick. All right, so I like to draw my Pokemon sleeping. It's kind of another constraint that gives me a starting point for the sketch. I'm not trying to just copy the official art. I'm actually trying to do something a little bit with the character, which is part of the warm-up drill. Okay, let's try that again. It did not grab my color for some reason. Weird. All right, maybe. It's gonna be doing that thing birds sometimes do, where they kind of cover their beak with their wing a little bit while they're sleeping. Okay. So put the neckline there-ish. The rest of the body would be here. And the brim of the hat would actually come down there. Good. Actually, I might need to. Usually, I need to make the sketch bigger. This time, I might need to make it a little smaller to fit everything. Beak comes in somewhere like that. Then the hat-like part goes here. It's maybe a bit too far out there. Something like that. It's a very large hat. Very large hat, indeed. Yeah, we're gonna need to actually bring this guy down a little bit yet. So clearly this guy's gonna be like in a big spooky tree or whatever. Okay, a few of these lines are a little unclear, but I'm pretty happy with the overall feel of this. Try like a big, full moon or something. Something like that, maybe a few clouds. Like Zubat or something. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that general idea. So we'll take a little bit, whatever time I have remaining here, and start iterating on that a little bit, just in terms of getting it a little bit tightened up in a pencils layer. But this is not, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be finished. It's just to loosen up. But I'm pretty happy with this concept. This would be one that I could see myself returning to a little bit in the future. Okay, did not get very far into pencils. That is okay. That is all right. I should actually pencils down. So pencils down. Now that I've just slightly gone over. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I like the idea of this. This feels pretty good. I feel like it's at least unique enough on the pose that it gave me a bit of a art exercise working with the character. All right. I hope you had fun as well. I'm gonna go ahead and save this here guy. And today is indeed the 28th. 28th already, I tell you what. Goes quick. I don't know if many of you watching have the long weekend coming up. If you do, hope you have something fun planned. And grilling is the usual consensus, right? But something fun, anything fun. All right, that was a good warm up. Let's go ahead and jump back on this guy. So one of the things, I mean, this is one that I started like over a year ago, and I just picked up for the first time fresh last week. One of the things I noticed is that the lines, the inks are very different than I usually ink. And part of me liked it, and part of me did not like that at all. So I might test out right now, seeing what it looks like if I do lines a little bit differently, more in the way that I typically do them. At least for the flame parts, I'm gonna leave. I like those as they are. But for the main body of the Chandelure, I might do this a little bit different. It does have a nice light feel to it right now, so I'm a little bit hesitant. There's a part of me that's hesitant, but there's a part of me that really wants to try it out this other way. So let's see. I'm gonna test it out a little bit, give it a feel. If I don't like it, I do have the other layer still there that I can revert to. My handy dandy G pen. I'm gonna use for a line right here. Also, I should check and see if I've been recording time lapse this whole time. I have. Excellent. That's what I like to see. Okay. That might actually be thicker than I wanted to go. Goodness gracious. Let's start with the curviest line I possibly can. I will have some colors to fill if I do it this way though. But I really like the contrast of the black. What if I did this? What if I just... Hear me out. Maybe? I might like this. Maybe. Oh, I might like that. Maybe. Maybe. Just maybe. That got away from me a little bit. Let's clear some of these vertices. There you go. Going back to there. That'll work. Okay, let's finish this up. I know it's a ghost type, so like a little bit of the lack of solidity that I get with not doing the black lines is kind of cool. But I feel it's kind of like the main subject of the piece. It deserves a little bit more contrast to draw the eye. It's just not quite drawing my eye the way that I want it to, I guess. Is that what I'm saying? Something like that. It's a little better. I will not fix every vertex. Learned my lesson. So that's kind of nice. That's kind of, yeah, I feel like I like the contrast on this a lot. And then I'm probably going to want to do is make a line to cover that up. Apparently my brain wanted to follow a very different curve on that. Let's do it this way so I can get a better view of what I'm doing. Okay, that's pretty good. Just a moment. Yeah, so what I'll probably do is then add on the vector line layer, I'll do the external line there over the top, and that'll look pretty good. I'll drop my line weight down slightly here. Okay. Yeah, so far, I'm pretty happy with this. I like that it gives like a little bit of weight to its the metal part of its body. I don't know, what do we think? Yeah, I'm liking this so far. Okay. We have a plan. Say goodnight to Asha, everyone. Okay, so I may not hate this. I may really like this. Okay, that's all pretty good. I'll do this crown with a little bit heavier weight like I did for the other ones. I'll do a lot lighter weight on the kind of detail work around the face, just to give it that slightly more delicate feeling. Apparently we unlocked early focus mode tonight. Yeah, so I have an idea about what I want to do. Circle's my nemesis. Have at you. I like to get it as much in one go as I can to kind of give that feeling of continuity. However, sometimes that's real hard, yo. That wasn't quite it. That's more like it. Yeah. Is that too thin? Oh gosh, maybe. Sorry for everyone listening at home. That was uncalled for. I apologize. Yeah, I wanted it to be a little bit thinner, but maybe that was too much. Maybe that was too much. I don't know. Nothing like streaming at night after the kids are in bed, and full day of work, and having all the go to sleep music from Final Fantasy play. It's very, very helpful. Coffee. Oh, the coffee. Don't mind me just lining this. No, just kidding. It's all good. It's all good. I wonder how many times I say that during a stream. That was almost perfect. What if I just spent the entire stream redrawing one line over and 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 over again and over. Alright, I should probably look at this. I should probably look at this first, don't you think? I like the contrast. I do think I'm gonna need to add a bit more glow off the parts that aren't bound in by the metal trim work. But I think that'll look cool, honestly. Honestly, I think it'll look cool. All right. I met with one of our critique group members. One of our critique group members. It's weirdly hard to say tonight. During lunchtime today, and we were chatting, and it was kind of, I was thinking about like what I've been working on recently, and it's actually been really cool. A lot of what I've been doing off a stream has not been strictly comics or art. Like lately, it's been very multimedia type stuff, all helping like build up where we want CoreToons to be, which has been really cool. I've been enjoying it a lot. You can do a lot of variety of stuff. But it was kind of a cool realization that I was like, oh, there's all this stuff that I always wanted to do, and I'm getting to do that thing. No complaints about it. Okay. I do love me some good Animal Crossing music. Come on. Not quite there. Come on. I will do the inner circle as well of the eyes, I think. We'll have some cleanup to do, just a little bit. Oh my gosh, seriously. Well, that one went better. There we go. Okay, that's most of it. I'll do... yeah, the inner eyes. That can probably come down a little bit. What am I even doing with that? Come on. Better. Nope, that wasn't quite there. Alright. Let's try this. And seems a little better. There we go. All right, let's take a look at this. I mean, do we like it better with or without? I think with. So I'll come in here, grabbing this. I'll blend that in a little bit. I just want to give it a nice little glow right at the edge there. Oh, I did want to go back and just give these guys like a little. Nope, don't want to mess with that. And my, why does it always undo that? That's so interesting. Maybe I want to add a little, let's just see what happens here. Oh, I like that. Okay, I will blend out a little bit of it. Here, I got a little bit too much. Oh, that's fun. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with that guy right there. Maybe I'll do a little bit of like a concentrated glow, like reflection. Okay, and I lost a line again somewhere. I don't know whether that was just from, I mean, accident. It's really easy to accidentally like swipe to undo in Clip. That's like my one complaint. If I had to have one complaint about Clip. And my guess is there's a way to like disable that, and I just haven't gone into to do that yet. Okay, yeah, I'm a fan of the Chandelure, especially with the glow. I think this looks super cool. Okay. Now that I've finished that part of it, and I'm really proud of it, I'm gonna turn it off. Ah! Because we had some other cool stuff to draw. Okay, so Yeah, these guys. I want. Gonna clip this layer to mask it in. I'm gonna turn off. So I have a color adjustment layer on here because I realized I did this in a cool like purple and orange Halloween-y set of colors. I don't know if you were here last week, but when I did it, I realized it didn't tie in very well with Chandelure because that palette is completely different. So instead of like going and recoloring everything, I just use a layer adjustment to shift the hues of everything to make it a little bit tie in a little better with Chandelure. So I'm going to turn that off so you can see what the original color is in, and I'm going to keep working in that for the background so that everything just gets adjusted the same. I think that's going to help it all. So this was the original one, which is, I still like it. It maybe would be a better Pumpkaboo background in terms of palette. Yeah, so let's go with that. I'm just gonna grab this guy here, and I'm gonna add a little bit of a highlight along the edges of the shrubs here. That's pretty good. This is really just to kind of get everything a little bit of a feel of a depth in the background. It doesn't have to be a crazy amount of depth. I just want to add a little something. Actually also do a little bit of a shadow here. I have a shading color I like. It's got a slight purpley hue to it. I'm going to multiply and I'm masking to this layer, so maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe this is enough as it is. Actually, I take it back. This is great. I like it. I'm not changing it ever. I will add just labeling my layers here because otherwise I'm definitely gonna forget. Setting up a little bit here, so I'm just gonna do a bit of shadow on the ground here as well. Give it kind of a continued fading. You know what? You know what? We can do better. We can do better. Okay, that's good, and I'll add a highlight one as well. Yeah, I'm not trying to overdo it here, but what I do really want to do is just kind of give each layer a little bit of extra depth and feel to it. So I'll do this. We're right there where there's like a break. And then what happens is we add our adjustment layer back, right? In a second. and it's kind of like this, and that's pretty cool. And it still all ties in pretty well with the Chandelure, if you ask me. So I think that's good. All right. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna get these, like, I've got these sketches in for the clouds and the moon, so I'm gonna get those in, and then I'm gonna start. I've got, goodness, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I didn't realize I already did 2 bets. Apparently that was on my mind when I did my my other stuff. What is that? What did I draw? Guys, what Pokemon is that? Let's say maybe Murkrow. Maybe it's a Murkrow? It's gotta be Murkrow, right? That would be perfect for this. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Oh, you know what though? Before I get into any of that, I'm gonna take a break. It's just a little after 11. It's a really good stopping point to just sit tight for a second, take a break, and I'll just hop back in on this when I come back. So I will go ahead. I'm gonna put it on Be Right Back here. And I'm also gonna run a 1-minute ad. So you'll see that, and then I'll be right back, and we'll keep going. I'm real happy with the progress we're making tonight. I think it's coming along quite nicely, if you ask me. So, all right, give me about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and I will be back. All right, see you in a few. Do it. Okay, we're back. I hope you all had a good break. I did. It was nice. Quiet. Didn't go anywhere. But yeah, let's keep going. Let's see what we can do. I would love to finish this tonight. I'm not sure I will, but it would be cool. All right. So let's go with a nice pale yellowish for the moon here. We'll see how it fits in with this palette. I think a lot of the colors here are derived from a palette that I mixed on my own that I used for our CoreToons comics. So they should have some inherent harmony with them, just because they all rooted from the same primary colors, the same hues and all that, and then it was just blending and adjusting saturation and value. So it should be a pretty cohesive palette. I'm gonna do this moon, and we're gonna see. And I'm probably gonna do this just as flats. Alright, I'll drag this below here so I can still see what I'm doing. Alright, let's see. Do I wanna turn off the trees? Alright, turn off the trees for a second. It's so nice working in layers and just being able to completely clear out the decks for a second. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. I'm just gonna hand it. Yeah. Use a bigger brush here. Nope. You will note that I'm not doing a vector layer here, so I don't have quite the same freedom to adjust vertices, but I can also still just draw over top of it till I get the thicknesses that I want. So I'm not really very concerned. You know, if I were smart / also lazy, I would just if only there were a way to get actual round shapes. But what could that possibly be? How would one accomplish this? Yeah, that kind of works. And then what I can do is if I just make a smaller circle here, bring it out till maybe there. I feel like that works. Now this would be really snazzy doing it just in with the vector layer, but I can still make this work pretty good. Well, do think it's kind of wonderful, especially listening to Game Chops now. I mean, you know, I've been listening. It's been my background music for stream for choice for over 2 years now, and it feels like there's a little bit of a Final Fantasy VII renaissance going on in terms of the music selections. No, don't undo that. I wanted that. There we go. Thank you. I mean, there's always been Final Fantasy VII music on the Game Chops since I started, but I feel like now it's even a bit more, and I appreciate it. I'm here for it. I can just fill this guy. I can just rotate it a little bit. Okay. You know what? For my little sketch layer, I did pretty well. I'll take that. I will definitely take that. All right. Yeah, there we go. Well, thank you. Not really interested in cheap viewers. I'm happy for people to just discover me as they will, or not. Is that wise? Who knows? Maybe I'll shrink this down just a slight bit more. Something like that. I think that's good. Yeah, let's go ahead. Bring this brush size down so I don't mess anything up. Just tidy this up. This is because I used anti-aliasing on my brush, which is like, it's this nice kind of edge that has some of the semi-transparency on it that you see. I've been working a lot lately without that, so it's just a hard pixelated edge, but for this I wanted the nice kind of smooth non-pixelated edge, but the downside of the trade-off is that I get that on the side that I want, that's the outside of the line, but then the side that I want to fill still has like these issues with filling, because there's all these semi-transparent pixels going on. That's okay. I can live with it. This is pretty zen, honestly. It's like an adult coloring book or something. If you're tuning in just now, and I'm so zoomed in that you have no idea what I'm working on, I will accept any and all guesses as to what this piece is. I think it's in the title of the stream, but I realize that this moment is not particularly representative of the piece. Almost there. Almost done with this bit with the moon. I mean, technically, if I wanted to get exactly right, I would have made the edge of the inner circle tangent with the outer edge of the circle, so you get that really good crescent, but this is good. I will take this. I will take it. I will cherish it. All right, I'm gonna add a little shadow to it. And for this, I'm gonna just use its own color. Nothing too crazy. Honestly, I'm just kind of... Boop! That's better. honestly, I could just do something like that. Then we'll likewise put like kind of a highlight there. Hello, there we go. Boop. And then we'll add a not clipped glow layer. Add glow. But it will be low opacity. Maybe. Because I don't want it to take up everything, but I want it to look cool. What happens though, hear me out, if I do this? No. I was going for something, but it's okay. I don't feel like I need it. I'm pretty happy with this. Now, I will see what happens when I do that. And then when I do that. Yeah. So that one is a little bit less saturated. It doesn't pick up quite as much color. How does that look with Chandelure? Is that okay? Or am I gonna not be happy with that? I feel like that's okay. No, I'll keep it that. I do like the fact that it draws out a little bit of the purples of the sky. It's funny, it doesn't get that much of an adjustment. Just a little bit from that layer. Okay, I'm okay with that. It may be something to play around with later, I'm thinking. But let's go ahead and move on to the clouds for now, because, you know, I would like to get this guy close to finish tonight. Maybe. Maybe I'll go with that. Oh, interesting. That is not the purple that I thought it was at all. Alright, well, I'll go ahead and grab one that's a little more... Anything that's in between here. Okay, well, I got this one. Let's see how this guy looks. Also, I need to turn the trees off so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, no. Nope. It does need to be darker than I thought. Okay, that's good to know. There we go. Come on, Jeff. It's just a straight line. It can't hurt you. I may want to use a lighter brush because the finer details in the clouds are not, and they're not hugely important, but that's pretty good. Okay. Let's keep going with this. If you're wondering what I'm just going on about right now, it's this is I think what KK Groove from one of the songs that the guitar playing dog KK Slider plays. But like when he sings, like if you know the Animal Crossing singing, it's just like meep 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 meep. So it will just forever live rent free in my head with this song when I hear it. But as like a very oddly soothing thing, honestly. Maybe oddly isn't even the word for it. I think a lot of people probably know exactly what I'm talking about. So I do need to be careful, because one thing that I am doing by adding these clouds at this darkness is I'm adding a bit more contrast to the sky. Don't get me wrong, contrast is good. It's visual interest, but if it's like the eye naturally gravitates to your areas of the greatest contrast, especially in terms of value, right? Brightness of your picture. So if I overdo it and have too sharp of a contrast here, what it risks doing is pulling some attention away from what I actually want to be the focal point of this illustration, which is the Chandelure. That's partially why I'm not using any lines on these backgrounds, aside from like the highlight lines on the trees, which I'm using kind of as a framing tool. But I'm trying to keep them still lower contrast in any one area, like no really brights next to really darks, so that they again don't pull too much of the eye away from my main picture, my main focus of the piece. I'm getting better at keeping these kinds of things in mind, but it's one of those things that sometimes you get so invested in the individual pieces of an illustration that you step back and after it's done, you're like, why doesn't this pop as much as I want it to? And sometimes, I mean, if you're lucky enough to have a critique group, they can usually help you find stuff like this right away. But sometimes if you're lucky and it's fresh in your head, you might remember, oh right, I should check the values, and you check your values, and sure enough, there's more contrast outside of your main focal point than there is in it or around it, and you have to end up having to kind of adjust. I'm trying to be mindful of these things beforehand because it's always nice to have less adjustment to do. But not the end of the world. I've learned so much, especially over the last like 5 or 6 years, of just like a lot of the difference between pieces that are like completely forgettable, that are pieces that I'm like, oh, I kind of like the idea, but it didn't come out, so I kind of just gave up on it. Or, oh, this was good, but like in theory this is good, or I was so excited about this, but it didn't quite turn out, so now it's one that it's not a portfolio piece, I don't really share it anywhere. And a lot of it is just the amount of time that you stuck with the piece. And I found so much stuff that just by sticking with it, it's actually, I've seen it through and like been committed to finding the errors in it. And by doing that, I've gotten finally through to something I really like. Not that means you should overdo every piece. But I have learned there's a lot of value to sticking with it and continuing to work it, and the kind of layered work on an illustration. Maybe that just means I don't know when to quit, but especially if you're doing art just for yourself, it's not so bad. You learn a lot and you grow. That's another thing. When you do have the opportunity to go in, like, and you have a piece and you're trying to figure out why it's not working, and whether it's a critique group helping you figure it out or you take the time to go in yourself, eventually when you figure out what's not working with a piece, that is a huge help also. All right, so now we're ready to start adding some varying shadows and highlights to the clouds. Again, I'm trying to really draw the eye in and focus on the center. So we've got this nice spotlight and backlight, which is like a backlight for the Chandelure. A lot of the light sources tend to just point the eye and be like, look towards the center. So I'm going to keep going on that with the clouds here. I'm going to make sure that, we've got the sunsetty highlight on the underside of the clouds. So all that kind of light is pointing you and bringing the eye in to the Chandelure, which, it's front and center anyway. But these kind of framing things can sometimes help and make the difference for things popping or just kind of being there. Of course, that means I will do shadows on the clouds. They will be on the top side since our light source is, in the middle of the picture. I'm naming a layer and I totally blanked on what words were for a second. It was a moment. It was really a moment. Here. We have this line that we quote often in our house. It's actually from a Berenstain Bears book. Which, by the way, I didn't actually read that much Berenstain Bears as a kid. Obviously it was still huge when I was a kid, but for whatever reason, it just wasn't one that I happened to pick up or get into. And, but Ashley did. So, obviously it became more of a staple for us with the kids. And at any rate, what I've learned actually reading Berenstain Bears is that, like, there's illustrations in there that you're just like, this doesn't seem like this should be right. Like this doesn't seem like there's one in one of them where it's like a Fight Club type picture. Like what is happening? It's like Brothers Underground fighting ring. What was another one? Oh, it's the other one is there's this one where like the kids and the parents like switch places for a day and they're all like laughing at the end, and then the parents like hit them with that line of like, oh, one day you'll have kids of your own, and the caption or the text on it just says, and it certainly was something to think about, and it just shows Brother Bear like staring off into the distance with this look that's like a little bit contemplation, a little bit horror. Anyway, it's funny and we quote it often in our house. It really was something to think about. Change you to a soft light layer. Gonna grab this nice sunsetty color. All right. Probably want to keep this a fairly small. That's too small. Maybe this. And I will add just another little soft light layer to get the moon. I want to separate them out at this point, the moon and the twilight glows, just so I can kind of tweak them individually. Okay, now how does this look with the adjustment layer? This is something I'm finding myself having to keep on checking. Okay, those colors are pretty dark. Alright, let's see. Okay, I think that's alright, actually. Especially when I do that. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. You know what I want to do? I feel like I want to add a little bit more depth to the trees. Which I'm just going to do by doing this little bit of a secondary shadow within the shadows that are already there. And just like a few little multiply. There we go. Nope, I think that filled the entire thing. Let's see. No? No. Alright, good deal. I do like that. I think that's... That shape got a little funky. That one I don't quite like. Maybe I need a bigger. It feels like it's missing something right here then. Okay. Okay, I can always turn this off too if I end up not liking it. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, Jeff, but doesn't this add more contrast? Weren't you just talking about this like nonstop? And yes, it does indeed add a bit more contrast, but it doesn't exceed the darkness of the ground that's already there. And in some ways, this actually gives it another boundary of the frame for our character. And we still have a very bright white, almost white color with our black outlines, which really helps it pop and keeps the focus right there. So I think we're still doing pretty well in terms of contrast. Feels unbalanced right here. Okay, I can always turn that off later. I'll think about that. I'm kind of happy I did that. Kind of. Alright, so I still have these Pokemon that I want to draw. Yes. Who do I start with? I think Pumpkaboo. I think we start with Pumpkaboo. I think that's the answer. I'm going to turn off this adjustment layer. I think I'm going to try to do them in their proper Pokemon defined color schemes and let the adjustment layer do some of my work here. I think it's what I want to do. I'm just gonna put this goes here. Okay. Sorry, I was adjusting layers while muttering randomly to myself. Yep. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, let's save some reference. I'm going to use the sub view here in clip instead of just dropping them in like I usually do. Because I'm getting all sophisticated and stuff. We'll also have a ghastly. Of course, of course. A hoot hoot. Hoot hoot. Sorry, I'm again just saving references right now. I know it's not terribly exciting because you can't see what I'm doing. Some Zubats. Yeah. It's a bit bright. I feel like, yeah, that's the colors I want. Zubat Pokemon number 41, for those of you keeping count. Murkrow, this seems awfully familiar. Almost as if we just looked up this reference earlier tonight. Who knew? Who knew? You're welcome for not just screaming that randomly into the microphone. Okay. And now you actually... Oh, yes, that's from another project, which I'll hopefully be unveiling sometime. Sometime. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not even going to say when. Sometime. I'm going to hopefully unveil what that's all about sometime. That's it. That's the whole tweet. Okay. Dadex, hello, and thank you for the subscription. How you doing? It's been a little while. I hope you're having a good night. Nope, that was the wrong way. That was the wrong way. That was that. Wait, yep, there we go. But yeah, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. And thanks for joining us. Alright, so Pumpkaboo is gonna be down here. Yes, sir. Yeah, so I'm doing this Chandelure piece. Right now I'm working on the background. I've got everything pretty much nailed down. I actually have some color adjustment I have going on right now, which I'll show you that. Turn these guys off for a second. And then Chandelure is kind of the main event here we got going on. But yeah, felt right to... This is one that I'd done for a warm-up a while back, like a couple years ago, and started drawing it all over again, and now I'm finishing it, actually. Yeah. What are you up to tonight? Alright, that's good. Alright, let's get in and do Pumpkaboo there. So how do I want to do this, actually? Because I'm not going to do... Okay, maybe I'll do just like a slightly darker variation of their natural color for their outline. Maybe I'll do that. I think that's gonna work. Drained from the last piece you finished? What did you finish? And if, by the way, feel free to share if you want to share. If you'd like me to bring it up, I can definitely do that. I think links should be open right now. All right, let's get. Actually, that's a tiny line. Sure, yeah. Just let me know and I will bring it up. Nope. Come on. I probably want to do the pumpkin lines next. Or first, so that I can come in and draw over top them. Over top them? That was weird. I swear, I know English. More what I wanted. Alright, let's get more of these lines in place. I'll clean these guys up in just a little bit here. That has been one that has been on my list to learn forever, and like I've done just the tiniest little bits of it, but then like I always get distracted and come back and have to relearn everything that I learned about the interface, and I still can't really do anything with it. That's so cool that you used that and got the chance to do it. Because also, isn't there some interplay, like you can take models that you make in Blender and you can actually, I think, convert them to come into Clip as 3D assets as well, which is pretty nice. Alright, so let's clean up some of these lines that are just hanging out. That's pretty good. Okay. Okay, that's all pretty good. I'll get just like the little fangs on in there. So what was for you like the trickiest part of learning Blender? Yeah, I could see that, because I mean I haven't used a lot of Clip Studio's lighting tools or a lot of their 3D assets. I've only done like the most basic of stuff with it. If those are too close together, we should... There we go. That is definitely much more bat-like. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So I'll set you as reference. Just remembering the shortcuts is a struggle. Yeah, I can believe that. Because, I mean, I feel like Clip Studio, for example, is like a really full-featured program. It can do a lot of stuff, but like it takes a long time to intuitively get where everything is. And Blender seems like even more of that to me, where it just does so much. Oh wait, is this just? Okay, I see. Interesting. That was not how I expected the color to look, but it's all relative, right? I should know this. Nope, that's not what I was trying to fill. What am I doing? Goodness gracious. And then, yeah, grab this orange. How's that gonna look if I fill this? Yeah, that's okay. It's not bad at all. Okay, I could just shade this guy. So do you think that now that you've done it, you're going to use, like, incorporate more of Blender into your kind of standard workflow? Actually, I may want to pull that color instead. So if I fill these guys. Oh yeah, that's true. That would be really, really helpful for that type of thing. So wait, do you like, where do you host your webcomic right now? Like, where can people find you if they want to see more of your work? Okay, I do want to fix this just a little bit. Not out yet. Okay, gotcha. It'll be on Webtoons. It seems like that is definitely the place to do webcomics these days. We have a critique group member who also is sharing stuff there. Oops, that is not the layer I want to be on, is it? So do you have any sense of how long you're planning on making your the webcomic to be, or is it just kind of a write as you go, see where the story takes you kind of situation? Oh, that's a really good idea. Yeah, like do the tutorial, but then also do like a random short project of your own to kind of get a feel for things. I agree. Yeah. Um, that's not quite what I wanted. Thinking back on like when I've learned the most about anything, usually just doing something with it is the much better way. Yeah, these colors don't super tie in. What if I do... Yeah, I do like it better with the adjustment layer a little bit. Let's do a little bit of highlight. I don't want to overdo these guys, but I feel like a little bit of something would work. And to tie it in, I'm going to use the highlight color from the background. Hard to say because you have projects within different genres. You can say they will not be short ones. That makes sense. That's cool though. Like it's good to have a project that you know has a lot of life to it. Oh yeah, that's I'm not the writer of our group, so I can identify with that. We have done some cool seminars to help with some stuff like that. If you look up like the Pixar story method, I thought that was a really cool one. And a good way to keep things flowing and add like continuity. Yeah, I really that one seemed really helpful to me. I may need a shadow underneath it. But like back here. Let's try here. I might need something a little bit darker, huh? Actually, that got very dark. Okay. Alright, what does this all look like together? Let's go ahead. And excuse me. Alright, let's go ahead. Do our adjustment layer and add Chandelure back in. Okay, that's pretty good. the Pumpkaboo got to be a very interesting color, and actually is pretty intense coloration for that. What if I do? Okay, first I'll take this off. Then I'm gonna add a correction layer, and I'm just gonna dial down the saturation a little bit. And I think that's going to help it kind of sit a little bit more in the background, and maybe even a little bit of the brightness. So if I do that and then do this. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Okay. What happens if I do this though? Oh, that breaks all that. Okay. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I may even... 28 was good. 31 maybe? No, I think 28 was nice. Come on. Okay. I mean, alternately. Right. Sounds good. Thanks for stopping by, and I super appreciate the sub. I hope you have a good night, and yeah, good luck with your webcomics. Absolutely. And yeah, thanks again. Okay. Okay. What if I did something different? And turn that off. And turn that off. But actually just like flatted it out a little bit differently. And just did wait, why did that happen? Hold on, wait. I am so confused right now as to why that got lighter. When in theory, the line should be... Oh, there we go. Oh, I kind of like that better. Yeah. It was just like the glowing eyes. Oh, I need to do something about the mouth, though. Hold on. Hold on. No, maybe that'll work. Yeah, oh gosh, that's nice. I like that a lot. Except then I will... I don't know, I think that's pretty nice. Because then, if I do this, now we're really in palette. And then we add Chandelure back in, and it's pretty cool stuff. Yeah, oh, I like that a lot, actually. Okay, okay, new plan. I know what I'm going to do for colors. Oh, I like that a lot. Yay! Okay, you know what? you know what? It's a pretty good place to wrap up for tonight. We're a little bit over. It was fun hanging out, and kind of I was on a roll with this, so I was happy to do that. But y'all, this is good. This is good. Okay. I'm pretty happy with this. So we're gonna hop back here. Ashley says I never stand still during stream, which is probably true. So I'm trying to do that every now and then, especially since she is kind enough to post my videos to YouTube and grab thumbnails of me. Yeah, I really, I should probably make sure to stand still for a little bit. So. That's weird. That's just weird. Okay. Anyway, thank you. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone for joining me. I hope you had a good time. This was fun. Not quite as much forward progress as I imagined, but I really like what I did with the lines. I like how that makes everything pop. I love how the Pumpkaboo is coming in. I think the background is otherwise pretty much set. So it's really just, I'm gonna add in like 3 Zubats, Hoot Hoot, Ghastly, and a Murkrow probably. And that's all I gotta do. It's not bad. Not bad. I just realized that I hadn't drank water for this whole like last hour. So apparently doing that madly now will somehow help. All right, so here's the deal. I'm gonna go ahead and use the command, share my schedule on over here. You can find me Thursday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Pacific time. That is my normal stream time. I keep on talking about it. One of these days it's gonna happen. I'm gonna do a short but pretty chill, no camera, no microphone stream, just while I'm working on stuff. Most nights of the week, if we're chilling out watching TV, I'm working on art. So why not let you guys hang out with me and join that for the hour-ish that I may be doing that. I'll try to post on our Instagram, but at the very least I'll try to I'll get a story up. But if you follow me and click that little bell icon, you can see when I go live, and then you'll know when I do those anyway. But yeah, so expect that at some point. Not guaranteeing it'll be in the next week. I do want to do that at some point in the near future. I keep talking about it. It will eventually happen, believe it or not. Yeah, aside from that, if you like my work, if you want to see more of my work, if you want to see the kind of stories and comics that Ashley and I make together, you can find us at our socials, which is WagWorksGA everywhere we are, which is primarily Instagram, also Twitch, also YouTube. You can find all of my previous streams over on YouTube. Usually the previous week's stream will go up on Wednesday, right ahead of the current week's stream. So if you don't feel like catching it on Twitch, the VODs, I do post the VODs. Obviously those only hang around for like 60 days on Twitch. You can find everything on YouTube. You can find recent stuff here on Twitch. And you can always check out our website, wagworksga.com. That's got like more of my portfolio stuff on it. We've got a little bit of a blog there. We don't always update it, but we try to sometimes. It's also got links to all of our other stuff. You can obviously also find our work over with CoreToons, which is right now, it still is a Substack, so you can head over to coretoons.substack.com to see what we've done so far. And if you want to sign up to get the newsletter, that's free comics for kids, kindergarten through 5th grade. Short comics with like a little bit of educational stuff. We make some of them, as well as some of our friends, Ken Ralston, Sarah Giles, and S.J. Winkler, with a few special guests along the way. We actually are launching our whole our fall issue coming up in September, and I have a link for if you want to check out what that format looks like. You can see that at our web page, which is I think now ready enough to share. It has our summer preview issue, which highlights the new format, so you can check that out over at www.lovereading.co/CoreToons if you are so inclined. You'll also find a blog there with like a lot of our series that we've done, Ken's stuff. I think Sarah's posted hers. So if you like one comic, you can kind of just binge through it there. as well. Frank is not here tonight because he is wiped out from a long day, but I have an excellent moderator and creative cohort here on Twitch, Friday Night Frankie, who I'm going to shout out. And also share the command for his Instagram. He makes a comic called Loosey Goosey. He actually makes a bunch of different comics, but you can find it primarily under the page there, instagram.com/looseygooseycomic. And that's just a great place to check out his stuff. It's a really good Sunday Funnies type feel. So please do feel free to check out Frank as well. And I think that covers it. Thank you everybody for watching and hanging out. I really appreciate your time. I appreciate being able to share with you. I enjoy my art time. It's a really nice art studio feeling here, and I'm so glad that I've gotten the chance to do this for the last couple of years. So thank you for joining me. I hope you continue to hang out and stay here for the ride. Thank you, Dadex, for swinging by. Thank you, Fallen, and anybody else out there. If you're just lurking, hey, this is a lurk positive stream. I'm just happy you're here. So, the only thing that I ask is if you're watching this on Twitch, or if you're watching this over on YouTube, you're watching the VOD, think about giving me a follow, a subscribe, leaving a like, leaving a comment, whatever's appropriate. But if you enjoy what you've seen here, let me know, because it helps support me, and I sure do appreciate it. I think that is everything. So while I load up my stream ending animation that I forget to preload almost every single week, I just want to say thank you again very much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you guys next time. So with that, good night.